And we're live. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome again to the trade. Yay. I got Jamie here with me, and we have Robert Trittart here with us, but he is, his mic isn't working right now, so I will be translating for him out of our little comments section to let you guys know what his reactions to anything we talk about are. So, today, this is episode 26. We're interviewing Kelly Bastow, kellybastow.com, or moosekleenex.tumblr.com. She's a fantastic artist and comicsy person who's doing a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and poke her brain. So with me today, of course, like I said, is Robert Trittart, chanceofdoom.com, rideandshine.com, and then Jamie, JamieDeeGaley.com.
Good job.
Yay! I remembered everything today. Yes. Oh, and I forgot mine. That's what I forgot. My name's Melony. I've got ornamentalcomic.com. And so far, everybody's been hanging in there. So, Kelly, kind of tell us a little bit of your backstory, you know, how you got into all this silly nonsense with comics and art. What's that all about?
Well, I've been drawing for a long, long time, and I started putting my drawings on DeviantArt when I was, like, in my early teens, and made a bunch of illustrations, and gradually started doing comics for local magazines and stuff, and just making comics and putting them on DeviantArt, and then just took off from there. And now I have a Tumblr, and now I'm doing really cool stuff with actual publishers and stuff like that, and it's going really good.
Oh. Well, did you go to school for any of yours, or was yours straight up self-taught?
Well, I was straight up self-taught, but then I went to OCAD for like a year, but I ended up being like OCAD dropout because I failed my class. So,
art school dropout, woo!
Yeah! Are you an art school dropout too, Jamie?
Oh, I'm a high school dropout.
Oh, jeez.
But I took art in high school.
Oh, okay. Let's have a dropout club.
Sounds good.
I dropped out in my last bit of college, so I'll put myself in the dropout club as well. So, woo! Yay! Sometimes college is just not for people, and sometimes it is.
Yes, I agree.
You get more out of it from the connections than you do from anything else. And if you already have the connections, there's no real reason to just pump more money into the machine. So.
Absolutely. And some of my friends now are like graduated and stuff, and they just have like $80,000 worth of debt, and they can't even make comics because they just have to work a crazy job to pay off all this debt, and it's really, really sad.
I make more money than most of my college graduated friends, and they're very sad about that.
Yeah, I am too. Damn you. Yes. No, I only graduated with $60,000 in debt. Yes. Only. Ah, well. I'll get it paid one of these days.
It
happens.
Is it paid off?
No. Only got, oh, Robert says he paid off his student loans. The bastard.
Good on you, Robert.
Yeah, I have no student loans and internet at my house. Yes.
You're winning, basically.
Robert says, now I'm just extremely poor.
Oh.
Hell, I had to move back home. I did the boomerang thing that a lot of my friends had to do too. You know, when the economy crashed, they yanked a lot of people's financial aid and whatnot. I'm one of them, and I boomeranged home. Can't do anything about it except roll with the punches.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Damn straight. So, Kelly, what are you working on lately?
Capture Creatures from Boom Studios, written by Frank and Becky.
How'd you find them, by the way? How'd they find you?
They just emailed me. Well, I think it was the editor or something just emailed me and said, you know, we're looking for an inker for Capture Creatures. Why don't you ink this panel and we'll see if you fit the bill, type of thing.
Because I remember them telling me about you. They're like, hey, there's this little girl that can draw really good, but she's really small. And I said, oh, how small is she?
How do they know I'm small?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay.
They were very excited about your work, though.
I am small. I'm only 5'2".
Aww.
And recently, I worked on illustrations for a book that's coming out this spring by Sam Maggs, and it's called The Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy, and it's going to be really cool.
I've got my copy pre-ordered already. Yay!
Oh, really? Oh, thank you. You can see the poster there behind me. That's from the book.
Yeah, I saw you tweeted a copy of it, I think, the other day on Twitter, and I was squealing about it.
Yeah. I really hope it does well. It's going to, though, because it's freaking awesome.
Exactly.
Other than that, I'm just making zines and stuff, and personal work that you'll just see on my Tumblr or whatever.
Robert asked, what are your influences, you know? Anything, anybody, any...
There's a bunch of artists who I sort of used little snippets of their style and got influenced by them over the years. Do you want me to like rattle off some names?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Craig Thompson is a big one because I really like his brushy, inky, flowy, really good style.
That guy needs to draw faster.
Yeah. And
I think his next book's done. They're just waiting to put it together.
Eh?
I think his next book, I think he finally finished it. They're just waiting to put it out or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Blankets Part 2 or whatever it's going to be.
Blankets Part 2. Comforter.
Duvet. Who else besides Craig?
Fu Sui Chin. She used to do a series called Nightmares and Fairy Tales. Like
Yes.
way back in his day.
Brian Lee O'Malley.
Brian Lee O'Malley, yeah, he's one of my recent influences. Yeah, I really like his bold inking style.
How about do you like his wife, Hope? Actually,
yeah,
I think they broke
right.
up. Oops.
Did they break up?
I think they did.
Okay, I don't want to like gossip, but I
Me
have.
neither. TMZ's gonna pop in here.
She's really hot.
She's mean. Not really mean, but you know. I said hi to her and she didn't respond, so.
Oh, really? I think she's like super quiet.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, the way I understood it, she might have a bit of social anxiety, so.
Oh, now I feel bad for talking to her.
So, just, you know, a lot of people do, especially in our artist and comic circles, so I don't usually take offense. I usually go, okay, either A, you're having a moment, or B, you are a dick, but, you know, so I just go with the moment part until I learn otherwise.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so let's see. I really personally love your artwork, especially a lot of your little comics about like some of your own social anxieties. They're really, really cute and really, really relatable.
Well, thank you.
I feel like that a lot of the times. This is why I have the blanket of power with me. I usually pull it over my head and I go, ah!
Just hide away.
Yeah, yeah. The blanket of power. It has powers. Oh, Robert wanted to know how much of your work is physical versus digital. Do you do like a 50-50 blend, or is it?
No, like pretty much. Oh, can you guys still see me?
Yes. Yes. You're
Okay.
fine, hon.
Oh, my screen turned off. Basically, all of it is traditional. I don't do any, the only digital work I do is to maybe edit something or add a bit of, like, just fix something or just all of it. I'm basically straight up traditional.
Do you lightbox those pencils that you're doing, or do you print them out? How do you do that?
I print off the pencils at my local printing place, and then I bring them home and ink them with a light box.
What size do you print those out? What size are you inking?
Legal size. I don't know how big.
You kind of small too.
It's like 9 by 12 or something.
Yeah, that's a little smaller.
Actually, I think you're inking her pencils bigger than she draws them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she just draws her pages on like 8.5 by 11.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm noticing like some of the details are getting lost, in the inking process. She's just really, really good, and I just can't quite hack it yet.
Oh, do you know what? If she was inking it, it would take 5 times as long. So you're
really?
helping the process. Don't worry. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm a fairly quick inker, but I'm just not as good. Just.
Are you using actual brush and ink, or do you have like a brush pen? What are you using?
I use a brush, like a Series 7 brush, and Sumi ink. And then for the smaller details, I use like a micron pen.
Cool. Have you looked into the Copics multi-liners for your instead of a micron?
Oh, are they better?
Yeah, they're better, and they're waterproof too. And they have refillable. The ink's refillable, and the tips are replaceable.
Oh, awesome! Jeez, yeah, I'll check it out.
It's called a Copic multi-liner. I use it when I do like watercolors and stuff.
Yeah, that's the only thing, because I'm using a bit of ink wash when I'm inking too, and the friggin' micron gets a bit smudged.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
I was looking at your originals. They look great. I love the when you do the gray wash with trees in the background and stuff like that. And then the colorist really handles those well. What's the colorist's name again?
The colorist?
Yeah, do you know his name?
It was Tracy Liang for the longest time. Well, not for the longest time, but for the last 2 issues. But then she got another opportunity, so she had to stop coloring for us. So they got somebody else now. I forget the name, but I think he's really good.
Have you been seeing Trillion Gunn's work in Help Us Great Warrior?
No, I'm familiar with Great Warrior, but let me just.
The colorist Trillion Gunn. She's really awesome. I'll give her a shout out. I use her when I need coloring done because I can't color for anything. So I just pay her to do it, and it's way easier.
So do you use a lot of watercolors with yours, or is it mostly ink wash and then a little bit of digital, or?
With my personal work or my Couch Creatures-y work?
Either.
Mostly ink wash. I really like using watercolors when I can get a chance, but it has to be the right illustration. I mostly like working in black and white anyway.
Black and white rules.
Holla.
What about on your regular just straight up illustrations that you do? There seems to be like an overall story for each illustration. When you're first sitting down to draw this, do you come up with the story first, or as you're just doodling, does the story come to you?
Most of the times I just draw the image, and well, most of the time the image comes to me and I draw it out, and then I say, oh, what's the story here? And sometimes each piece doesn't necessarily have a story, but people kind of make up their own story for it, and then I say, oh, well, I thought maybe it was like this. I do like making pieces with like narrative, like kind of a narrative thing or like something else going on. But I never like come up with a story beforehand and then draw it out, unless I'm doing a comic, of course.
Well, your illustrations convey a story, so good job.
Oh, thank you.
Do you read many like web comics, print comics? What do you read? What do you read?
I don't read many web comics, but there Like, I go to the comic store and buy comics a lot.
Do you read like monthly books, or do you just like pick up like artsy like graphic novel stuff?
Just like whatever graphic novel came out recently from my favorite artist type thing.
So you don't like read like Marvel or DC or anything silly like that?
No.
You should check out Gotham Academy. It's a monthly book and it's really good.
Yeah, I heard it was good.
Issue 4 just came out. I not saying it's a girl book, but I buy it for my niece and she loves them.
Oh yeah.
And also Capture Creatures. She has issues 1 and 2 signed by Becky and Frank too, but that doesn't really matter.
Oh,
He's just the writer.
Does she like it?
Oh yeah, she loves them.
Oh, awesome.
So some 10-year-old girl in Los Angeles likes your inks. Good job.
Aww. This is why I do it.
What about you, Melony? Do you read any monthly DC mainstream books?
I don't read anything monthly. I don't usually get any of the monthly floppies.
Oh
I
yeah,
usually
your comic
get
book store's like 5 hours away, right? That's horrible.
Yeah. The last one shut down about 2 years ago locally, so I'm kind of in limbo land here. So I generally have to either order things and get them digital, and so occasionally I'll buy a couple digital floppies, through Comixology or Dark Horse. But most of the time I just go ahead and pick up collected graphic novels or trades.
I love Comixology. I just recently started using it a lot. I found a couple books that were only released on it, so started shopping around, and it's awesome. I like it a lot. There's a couple things they need to do in their browser app, but their tablet phone app is pretty decent. But
yeah,
I like them a lot. I also like the Marvel has one it's kind of like Marvel Netflix, where you can just go through the entire archive of Marvel books. I'd say they have a good 80% of their library up on the website. It's pretty nice.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, but I read a lot of webcomics. I want to say, anywhere from 50 to 100 a day.
Oof.
I have a huge list. So anytime I've got to change computers, yeah. Yeah, like the latest one I got into really hard. My Sweetums actually got me into it. It's called Kill 6 Billion Demons.
What?
Cool title.
Yeah, just alloneword.com. It's pretty sweet. Here, I'll give you guys a link real fast
pretty.
here. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
How far along are they in this?
Quite a ways last time I checked.
Art changes quite a bit.
Yes.
That's awesome.
But I mean, I think it's fucking gorgeous.
It's so funny how many people are just out there just putting comics up on the internet, and how rare that was 10 years ago. 10 years ago does sound like a really long time ago, but there were still hundreds out there. Dumbarella was still fully formed. We were still getting Monday through Fridays through lots of really talented people that are still doing them now. And just the fact that it's gone from probably a group of 1,000 to anybody that wants to do it. So yeah, not only more people read the comics, we need to have more people more people reading comics.
Agreed.
Yeah, Robert agrees as well. He says, yes, now we just need more people to read all the comics. It's very true. Anytime I have kids, nieces, nephews, cousins, anybody, they get comics for Christmas, comics for birthday. Gosh darn. We will convert them, and they will love it. And they think their auntie's crazy.
Well, video games just went from, being such an underground nerd thing to pretty mainstream. And my mom plays video games all day long after making fun of me doing that my entire youth. It'd be nice if that type of thing happened with comics next.
Did you say your mom does it?
Plays video games all day long. She
That's
tips on her cell phone, plays Candy Crush. That's playing video games. That counts.
Mm-hmm. It does. It's a
Video
flipping
games
video game.
Video games make more money than movies, music, and pretty much everything else all put together right now. And it is because of the cell phone, how easy it is just to get a video game in your hand.
Robert asks, any advice from anybody in the podcast here for attracting more of an audience? You guys have any recommendations?
Getting out and giving audience to other people gets you audience back.
That actually makes sense. Yes.
Having internet.
Yes. Yes.
Ouch.
Well, I say be on the podcast a little bit more. We've been interviewing more and more people, so you need to come give more shout-outs to them through Twitter and whatnot, and Tumblr too, because I found Tumblr's pretty good for building an audience, as well as Pinterest, believe it or not.
Pinterest? I don't make earrings, though.
No. Pinterest, you can do any pictures of anything, so do clipping. I know, you're being a dick.
I think he was thinking of Etsy.
Yes, my girlfriend actually sells earrings on Etsy.
Etsy is awesome.
Etsy is definitely fun. But, no, I know of a couple people that have built their audiences through Pinterest, because everybody, is trying to get ideas for something on Pinterest a lot of times, and they'll start scrolling through. And 9 times out of 10, they'll find new artists, new webcomics people, and I have grown by, I want to say, about 100 readers in a month by just putting up little snippets of my comics on Pinterest. And just leaving links there. Comics, webcomics.
Try to go to conventions and meet people so they can kind of put a face to a name.
Robert does a lot of conventions. He's actually one of our oldest people in our group. He's done conventions and zines for quite a few years.
Huh. Yeah.
I'm the one that lives in Limbo Land. It doesn't do the convention thing except every great once in a while.
Where do you live, Melony?
In the middle of New Mexico.
Ew. Is there much of a comic scene out there?
No. At least not where I'm at. I know it's a small crowd. I mean, that's what kept our local comic store going so good. But the main amount of business in our area is oil and gas. And since that's all pretty much shut down right now, most of the money's gone out of the area.
Sucks.
So a lot of people have been moving and leaving.
All
right. Well, right now it looks like I might be moving to right outside of Houston.
Oh.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I got very lucky and landed in LA because my girlfriend works in my wife, whatever she is this week, works in the business or worked in the business. So I landed here and I like it a lot. I mean, I could live in any city. I like LA. I can get tacos at 2 o'clock in the morning. That's pretty awesome. What about you, Kelly? Where you living?
Hey?
Where do
Where
you
you at right now?
I'm in Toronto.
She's another Canadian.
Yeah.
She keeps saying "A," remember?
Oh, ouch!
How long have you lived in Toronto?
Yeah, how was it? Just like since October. But I lived here for like a year, like a couple of years ago.
Nice.
Or like, yeah, like
Most of the major Canadian cities have a nice comic book scene.
Yeah. Well,
I know
I'm
for
from a little island on the East Coast, and there's like barely any comics scene there. And then coming to Toronto just totally blew my mind because it's so
yeah.
comic-y, and there's like TCAF and Toronto Comic Con, and I was like, whoa. Yeah, but I told Frank and Becky like that they're basically like cartoon legends over in Toronto, and they said yeah, but you know when we came to LA we saw how much competition there was, and you realize what a small fish you are.
Yep. You definitely go from being a big fish in a small pond to nobody real quick.
Yeah.
They're doing good.
I'm teeny no matter what.
Oh, you'll get there. Don't worry. See, I think Frank is trying to get scripts done on Powerpuff Girls, the new animated series.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's super awesome.
Oh, nice.
You didn't hear from me, though. I didn't say anything.
Don't know nothing.
That's it.
Becky actually was working on that show too. Whenever it comes out.
That'll be cool when it comes. That'll be so cool.
I just want to talk to Jonan Vasquez and see if I can help draw the new Invader Zim.
Oh, that is going to be so much fun when that comes out.
Coming out?
They announced it, but I don't know when it's going to be coming out. I'd like to draw on it though.
I was watching Invader Zim on YouTube like last night.
They just put them all up on Hulu, and my wife just is watching them over and over again. I gotta hear that goddamn Doom song again.
So awesome.
Robert, you're so lucky. He's going to be sitting next to Aaron Alexovich over at ECC this year in March, and he worked on a lot of Zim with Jonan. I, in fact, just got his sketchbook zine in the mail the other day.
I remember when Jonan used to sell mini comics at San Diego Comic-Con and stuff like that. He had long hair and wore like an Iron Maiden shirt, and he was it was called Stick Boy and something else. They're pretty good. But his Iron Maiden shirt and some now he dresses like somebody from the Matrix.
Does he still wear a long black coat?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Actually, usually when I see him, he's got jeans and a t-shirt on. But when he dresses up for cons, he looks like an extra from the Matrix.
Oh, and I picked up my big hardbound edition of Serenity Rose last year. He was dressed up pretty schwanky with Drew sharing a table. I wish I could go to ECCC this year, but I want to spend my money and go take my vacation and see my sweetums.
Gross.
Are you in a long-distance relationship?
Yeah, yep, he's over in Houston there, and I haven't got to see him in a really long time.
Oh, that sucks.
You can borrow my wife if you want. I gotta see her all the time.
Jamie, you better cut it out. You're gonna be in the doghouse.
No, it's all cool. So, Kelly, when you do, I was looking at your illustration stuff. Let's say you're sitting down to do a painting. What size do you usually do your paintings? Let's say it's a painting with a bunch of naked girls all over it. How long do you usually take to do something like that?
How long?
Yeah, because I know that your inks are pretty quick, but laying out like a nice final piece of art like that, how long do you usually spend on a piece?
I'd say like from sketch to finish is about from 3 to 4 hours.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay.
And how much pre-work? How many thumbnails do you do and stuff like that before you actually sit down to finish a painting, or do you just sit down with one piece of paper and make a piece of art?
I never do thumbnails for pieces. All my illustration-y stuff on my Tumblr is just from my sketchbook. So I'll just be sketching random stuff, and then I'll say like, "Oh, that looks good," and then I'll trace it onto like nicer paper and ink it.
Yeah.
But I don't plan it out. They just kind of happen randomly.
One of the comic books that I'm working on right now is with a different writer. I have to do character designs, which I've never done before. Usually I just start drawing and see what happens. But he's having me redraw characters over and over and over again, and it's very frustrating. I'm like, we could already draw the comic book, dude. Stop making me draw this comic character over and over again.
Yeah, some clients too just don't know what they want.
Yeah, writers don't know what they want.
Luckily, I haven't had to do any of that. I've just been doing murals lately.
Where to?
I did one for, believe it or not, my local Lowe's. A story and a half off the ground, suspended from a harness. I painted it. It was what, like 4 foot by 6 foot.
Cool.
Big wolf head thing they wanted for the store. So like, okay, fine, you're paying me. And then they hanging from a harness.
Stunt work.
Basically, it was fun. It was really fun. I've got my next one lined up here in probably here in another 2 months when it warms up a bit more, because I do not want to suffocate the homeowners with paint fumes.
Very courteous of you.
Yeah, they have a 16-foot tall, 12-foot across wall they want me to paint a giant tree on.
That'll be fun.
It'll be huge. It's a big tree. It's a really big tree. They're using this as their family photo wall. It's one of the main load-bearing walls in the house. So, you know, it can't be messed with too much since it's carrying the most weight. And so it's this big blank wall. It's in this terracotta, really warm, kind of almost orangey color. And so she wants me to do like this brown-black tree, almost like a shadow, you know what I mean? So it's not going to have a huge amount of detail to it, which won't be too bad. But yeah, getting her to settle on a type of tree. Yeah.
Cherry tree, done, boom.
But yeah, she's going to put all the family photos on there, so it'll be the family tree.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, she got the idea from Pinterest.
Oh my god. Those hacks.
It's terrible. It's just terrible. It's work. And like I said, I don't want to suffocate them with paint fumes since they have central air. She wanted me to do it back in December, and I was like, wait a minute, what type of air circulation do you have? She's like, oh, it's all sealed in central air, and I'm like, yeah, you'll suffocate. No. Let's wait till spring when we can leave some windows open. So that way neither of us suffocate, because I will wear a mask. That shit, some of the paint she wants me to use, that's heavy duty stuff. Oh. I'm going to be so high.
You're going to paint like some psychedelic scene.
Yeah.
Just start out as a tree and turn into a walrus. Robert says you could paint it like the black family tree in Harry Potter. That might not be a bad idea, actually. I'll have to sit down and look it up and see if she won't do something like that. But yeah, that's my next painting gig. And I'm just going to try to get ahead on some more of my comics. So, other than, let's see, you're inking for capture creatures right now, you working on anything else lately?
No, just personal stuff.
Are you going to put out your own book anytime soon? Something big, a bigger project? Any even thoughts of that?
I'd really like to. I made a little zine, like my first narrative comic, and I made 2 issues of that, and I'd really like to put it together as a graphic novel somehow. I think that'd be really cool. But
that's what I'm doing right now with the adventure book. I'm doing the chapters like 16 to 22 pages, and then just pumping out mini comics of those. And then once I'm done with like 6 of them, I'll actually put up a Kickstarter or something like that for a collection of them.
Oh, cool. Are they colored?
No, black and white. I don't know how to color stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to teach myself this week, but it's still not panning out. Trying 3 different programs. So far, the one I'm having the most fun with is the Manga Studio. I like painting in that with the oils.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Did you look into that Skillshare class I shared about digital coloring for comics?
I watched the first one. I haven't done much after that though. I've just been because I can paint. I can paint a picture, but I digitally is just black magic to me.
Sorcery, straight up sorcery. I'm still getting the hang of it with mine. I've stuck kind of pretty basic with mine so far. I know I gotta fix the colors on it, but it's a work in progress.
Yeah, I have a lot of admiration for people who can do those crazy good like digital coloring, and it just looks amazing. But I don't know. I don't think I'll ever do that.
What did Robert just say?
Says, do you want a painterly colored your comics, Jamie, or just flats?
Oh no, it's not even really for my comics. It was I just want to have that ability to do that. Whenever I do a comic for me that I'm going to publish, I always think it's going to be a black and white comic. I really don't. I never really think the comic as being colored. I can do flats. I can color it and make it look semi-decent. But I'm trying to teach myself how to do full digital painting, like an oil painting or whatever. But digitally, flats are no problem. I've 10 years ago there was a Marvel card series that came out at San Diego Comic-Con that I did flats for Marvel, and so I can do simple stuff like that. It's just actually getting better at it is what I'm working on right now. I did a painting of Fez, and I'm trying to find it right now. And then I realized everybody hates the guy that created the Fez game.
What's his name? Phil Fish.
Yeah, Phil Fish. Poor guy. Well, not poor.
Why don't they look?
He fired his programmer like 80% of the way through the game, and then finished the game by himself, and took all the credit for the programming, even though he didn't do any of the programming on the game. So it was kind of shady.
Twitter meltdown.
Yeah, and he had a Twitter meltdown, and here, there's the Fez painting I did. I think it's showing up for you guys.
Aww. Yeah, I saw it on your Twitter. Yeah.
So that's about where I am right now. Long ways to go.
It looks good though. It looks like a painting, like a
like a real painting. That's what I want to try to do. I want people to say, "Hey, that doesn't look like a Marvel comic."
I like it. He's cute.
Thank you very much. Let's go back to Comixology, just because I'm so obsessed with this week and I've given them way too much money. Have you guys looked into distribution on Comixology or any other type of distribution digitally? I know I've got a couple. I have a couple comics up on Gumroad and stuff like that, and I buy stuff from Gumroad.
Right.
I definitely think there's a a future in it. Not only the different file formats and stuff like that. You can do a PDF. You can do the CBR files. Have you either of you looked into anything like that before?
I have just looked at Gumroad itself. I really like the overall how Gumroad is set up. I think Comixology is only for anybody who is a large and well-established. Yeah. Robert says, I submitted a book to Comixology, but it took them over 6 months to get back to me to tell me that I didn't have enough pages.
That's why Gumroad's awesome. Gumroad will get back to you in like 4 hours. You can sell anything up there. You can make a program and just put it in a zip file and sell it on Gumroad for 99 cents.
Yeah, see, like, who was it? Scotty Young. He does a lot of little, like, zine art books and stuff, and he'll put them up on Gumroad and the like, and, you know, so that way you can just sell directly to the market. You don't have to worry about going through anybody else.
Yeah, it's an easy way to sell, like, higher-risk prints instead of selling them for $10 off your website and then having to ship them out and everything like that. Put them up for $1 on Gumroad, and you don't have to worry about anything. Somebody can just purchase it for $1, print it out themselves, and you don't have to worry about going to post office, anything, printing it out, anything like that. No, I think Gumroad's a good new company that just started like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, I don't distribute my work anywhere, but my housemate just started posting his comic on Tapastic, which is like you sort of join the website and you can subscribe to whatever comics you want. But I don't think it's like a selling type thing. It's just like a comics app type thing.
Right.
Cool.
So
Looking at it right now.
That could be cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks dope. It's sad that digital is the future. I mean, they fought it when the MP3 came out for music. I mean, people were so mad. You know, oh, I'm never going to give up my records. I'm never going to give up blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. But now everyone has the iTunes and stuff like that. And it's just for books, for comics, for magazines. It's the future. I've got a Nexus 7 tablet that I read comics on all morning. I wake up and pick that up and continue whatever book I was reading on that, and it's great. Yeah, they're just too handy.
Yeah, I live on my Samsung tablet.
And even cell phones are getting big enough right now. I've got the Note 3, and I can read comic books on that, and I read books on that on the bus and on the train and stuff. So
yeah, the cell phones now are getting freaking huge.
Yeah, it's retarded big. It's
whoa. It's like a VHS.
It weighs as much too. But it'll be interesting what next big steps they're going to take. I was just talking to the Comixology people on Twitter yesterday because I had a couple complaints, and they were totally awesome and talked to me and were open to whatever suggestions I had, so that was nice.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they've always been really nice and polite about things, but yeah, when it comes to the creator side of things, trying to submit to Comixology, I've heard some horror stories.
Really?
One of the books that I'm going to recommend got through Comixology no problem, and then the printer had a gigantic mistake and now is like 3 weeks behind on printing the book. So it was actually easier for him to put it up on Comixology than it was for it to be printed.
Yeah.
You want to do recommendations now before I forget?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do our recommendations for the month. Kelly, we'll go ahead since you're the guest. We'll let you start here. What's anything you'd like to recommend to our audience today?
I would like to recommend Space Pirates. Oh God, what's the website again?
SpacePirates.com, but pirates spelled with a Y.
Yeah, SpacePirates.com, but spelled with a Y, and check out Metalbeard as well, which is part of that website. So SpacePiratesWithAY.com/Metalbeard. And also pick up Capture Creatures by Becky and Frank. It's really good.
Frank Gibson and Becky Drystadt.
Gibson and Drystadt. Were they trying to like get away from their Frank and Becky nickname?
I don't know. I feel weird twittering to Frank and Becky when I do, because usually it's just about wrestling or whatever. So, Frank and Becky, you excited about New Japan Pro Wrestling next week? But I don't think they're trying to get away from that. They got married. They're all married and everything like that. I don't know why they don't. I don't know what they're doing with the last names though.
Maybe they're one of those modern couples who just have the hyphenated name.
Oh, we don't. We're not even doing the hyphenated name. She just didn't take my last name. It was so romantic. She's like, yeah, I'll get married, but I'm gonna keep my last name because yours sucks. Actually, we're not even married. We've just been living together for way too long.
Your common law spouse.
Yeah, common law spouse.
Yeah,
we should have get married.
Yep, there you go, get married.
All right, Melony, what are your recommendations? What are you reading this week?
Well, like I popped up earlier, Aaron Alexievich's little sketchbook. I just got it in the mail the other day, so it's got a lot of fun little sketches and doodads of what he's worked on over time and some inspiration, because I really like his line work. It's some of my favorite. I got the first volume of Shark Knife by Corey Lewis.
So good.
Yep. It came in the mail. I know I've got number 2 on the way too, so I'm waiting for it to show up because damn, that was good.
You should check the thing as well.
Yes, I shall.
You checked it out. It's really good.
And then I actually picked up from one of my local stores, one of the few that actually occasionally has comics. I have a Hastings locally. Not everybody knows what it is. It's kind of like similar to a Barnes & Noble, but it's a smaller chain. And they also do videos and things like that, rentals. But I picked up the Omnibus version of My Little Pony.
Hey, Katie Cook.
Yep. This is Katie Cook's writing. That's one of the main reasons why I picked it up.
She's one of my old friends. I like her a lot.
Ah, cool. And I really like Andy Price's art in this. It's kind of fun and silly and definitely up my lane of ponies! Ponies! Okay. Fulfill the pony love. And then, into the land of manga. I picked up the first 3 volumes of Kami-sama Kiss. I think most of it's out now. Shoujo Beat's the one that's putting it out right now, and it's just a heck of a lot of fun. A girl basically falls into becoming a land god and has to deal with not only being a high school student, but then all the responsibilities of being a deity. So, kind of fun. Silly. Definitely silly. What do you recommend, Jamie?
The Stray, not The Strays. The Strays is a webcomic, but there's a new comic book that just came out. I read it on Comixology. The print book's supposed to be coming out next week. It's about a sidekick superhero that he's a sidekick, but then his master, or whatever you'd call it, the hero that he sidekicks for, gets mysteriously murdered, and he's got to step up his game to solve the mystery. So it's kind of like I want to say late 80s, early 90s superhero comic. It's pretty fun. There's a local LA video game collective called Glitch City Games that put out really good like independent games, and all it is just they rent out like an office, and they all hang out and drink beer, smoke weed, and make video games. And they have a Patreon up right now that if anybody can toss them $5, it'll really help them paying rent and making awesome games. So if you guys can look into that. And Help Us Great Warrior by my friend Maddie. It's kicking ass. It's a great webcomic game. Such a good book. I've already bought 3 copies because I keep giving away to kids around the neighborhood, and that's a good one. Actually,
Awesome.
such a good book.
Definitely.
So many good little silly monthly books out right now, and Boom's doing a good work. They just need to pay their people more. But
I agree.
but it's cool that they're letting all these little independent things happen.
I'm so excited for the Invader Zim one to come out. I had so much fun watching that cartoon. It was just a blast.
Are they going to use different voice actors? Obviously.
Well, no, the Invader Zim is going to be a comic book.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were going to rehash the show.
Oh, nope, sorry.
Nope. Robert, his recommendations right now are George R.R. Martin's book series, Game of Thrones and the like.
Hmm.
He is also a fellow person of New Mexico.
Here's a Great Warrior pinup I did for Maddie.
Tell her I'm a big fan.
Oh, will do. She's awesome. She's super awkward, but whatever. I still love her.
Well, are you guys going to come to TCAF?
Oh, no, I don't leave LA or my couch.
Oh.
I want to come at some point.
I used to do, I'm a SoCal kid, so Southern California, so I do San Diego Comic-Con. My wife lady has we have a house down there that we can crash at, so that was actually where I met Frank and Becky. We were throwing a party there, and they randomly showed up to my party, and I've known them ever since. And then most of LA cons, Little Zine Fest. I mean, there's so much stuff here. I'm spoiled living in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
But I'll definitely tell Maddie that you love her and worship her.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I love
We
you.
should see if we can't get her on the next podcast or two. Do you
I'll
think
see
she
what I
would
can
be
do.
up for it?
She doesn't really. I was trying to get her to do a signing at the local comic book store, and she won't even do that. I'll ask her though. She's funny. She's good people.
Wow.
Yeah, you're always welcome to come hang out again, Kelly. I mean, I can put you on our email list.
Can I be there when you're interviewing Maddie?
Let me ask her first.
Let's arrange with her, and then I'll send you the email.
But just pretend that I'm like actually like a professional interviewer or something.
Not sitting in the corner going, hi.
And I'll just be like, so how many times a day do you shower?
2.
See what happens.
Right? Or fiance, boyfriend, or whatever, Jay. He's an awesome guy too. He's really fun.
Is he a comics guy?
Yeah, he does a little. Yeah, kind of. Let me see if I can find his stuff real quick. He's more of a writer than a comic book guy.
Hmm.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna Google something.
Okay.
Also, tell Frank and Becky that we're gonna have them over for dinner when they come for takeout.
Are they gonna be coming up there for that? They're in Texas right now.
I know. Well, I think they mentioned it. TCAF's not till May, so.
All right.
But I think they mentioned they might have like a capture creatures table if they come. But if they do, then we're gonna invite them over for dinner, and we're gonna have like a cool Becky and Frank hangout because I think they know my housemates too.
Awesome.
That'll be fun.
Frank likes food. He's a big fan of the food thing. Jay's webcomic is buttpoems.tumblr.com. So BUTT poems.tumblr.com.
Alright, definitely check that out.
Let's see. Robert said he's actually reading his earlier work right now. He's been listening to the audiobooks through his local library while he's working on drawing. That makes sense.
I can only listen to Limp Bizkit Pandora when I'm drawing. That's the only thing. Hey, it makes you ink faster. That's for damn sure.
I actually usually put on something like, you're gonna laugh at me, I put on classical music.
Yep, I'll laugh at you.
I usually listen to nothing but classical when I'm writing or drawing, because if I hear words, it completely distracts me.
Writing's different. I can't listen to anything when I'm writing, but when I'm just laying some inks down, I prefer a little bit of a faster-paced music than classical music.
Well, have you listened to Two Cellos? They do a lot of covers and remakes. Yeah, I've got most of their albums on one big playlist. So sometimes I'll throw on their remakes there and have a good old
Robert
time.
said that he only listens to the Titanic soundtrack when he's writing.
Oh.
Liar! Over and over again. Yes, Jack. Yes, take me with you.
When they were banging in the car, and the hand like splattered on the window, whose hand was that? Was that Jack's hand or Rose's?
It was the cameraman's.
I don't know. I think it was Rose's.
Okay. Yeah.
Or in that last moment of passion, huh?
And she wanted to smack the window because she couldn't smack Jack.
Right.
I don't know. I always had to cover my eyes during that scene.
Too scandalous.
Robert says there was totally enough room for both of them on that door. I agree.
Yes. She's so selfish. Just like a woman.
Terrible. He says he's never actually seen the movie. He just knows all the horseshit.
He just knows that scene by heart.
Oh, Jack.
Didn't she say like that was one of the movies that she was really embarrassed about?
Yeah, I believe in past interviews, last time I saw any Kate Winslet interviews, she had said something, mentioned it briefly here and there, going, yeah, I did it. More or less. That was early work. Let's move on.
I don't know why you'd be embarrassed of that. It's one of the highest grossing movies ever.
Yeah.
If it was a bomb, I'd understand, but it did okay.
Yeah, it was like one of the, it made tons of money.
And you got to see that guy fall and hit the propeller as he's falling down. That was really cool.
Yeah, and Ricochet.
Yeah. Kevin Smith said that was his favorite part of the movie.
I like the abuse in it. That's what I like. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, smack that. Yeah. No, wait. That's a different movie. Hush. We will not mention 50 Shades of Buttholes.
Yeah, that movie's getting a lot of flack.
Yeah, for more than one reason.
I really don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, these movies come out every 8 years or whatever. It's just the grandma porno movie. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, Deep Throat was a way bigger deal than this was. And
What's
yeah.
Deep Throat?
Deep Throat was a 70s mainstream movie that actually showed penetration, and there would be lines of just like 40 to 50-year-old ladies to see this movie at theaters. And,
they were all flicking their bean.
Yep.
Watching Deep Throat.
There's a really good documentary about it too, just like the making of it and why it was such a big deal. Actually, I don't think I've ever even seen Deep Throat. I've just seen the documentary. I know the history of Deep Throat.
I did see Deep Throat, but that's because I actually worked at a porn store.
Sure, you work there.
Well, that's what you do when you're 19, 20 years old. You go find the most interesting job you can.
Did you meet any colorful characters?
Oh yeah, all the creepers. And most of the cross-dressers, and I know most of the local prostitutes now, which are all very nice people. So,
Sure.
If you're a prostitute, I really don't think you can be mean. I think you have to be nice.
No, some of them can be quite cantankerous.
Oh, man.
Well, if that was what you did for a living, I think you would be a bit cantankerous.
Yeah. But, you know, what you do in your youth. I took on a bunch of interesting jobs. How about you guys to pay the bills?
Restaurants for life. Been working in restaurants since I was 12 years old, so taking this year off to draw some comics, but after that I'll probably go back to running some restaurants.
Cool. I'm working in a
When I grow up, I'm going to draw comic books. It's going to be so awesome.
Yeah. Same. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm just starting to get paid for drawing, like in the last year or two, and it's so surreal.
Yep, it's nice getting those checks, isn't it?
Yeah. I wish, never mind.
A little bit more?
Yeah.
No,
But it'll come with time.
I've been talking. I pay other artists to help me with projects. Like I use Trillion Gun for colors and stuff like that. And they're always amazed that I'm willing to pay them $40 to color something. It's like, no, please. And they're like, oh, thank you, sir, thank you. I'm like, no. You should be getting this much money. You're doing a very good job.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That's why. Oh, another shout out to Ryan Estrada.
Yes, Ryan slept on my couch before too.
Man, how come you got all the cool artists couch surfing you?
Because I live in Los Angeles and they know me. I've had Penn Ward's been to my house before too. Penn Ward and Ryan Estrada were in my house at the same time. We had a comic jam together.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, what'd you have to say about my homie?
Shout out to him because he's like a big advocate of like comic artists getting paid.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's really good. And he's like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna do this super awesome book, and I'm actually gonna pay you. And we were like, what?
Yeah. He can afford to do that. He lives in Korea and his rent's like $18 or something like that.
Oh, bless his heart. He's so good. He's
a great person.
Yeah, he's a sweetie. Like, I've done other Kickstarters where everybody, like, submits their work and stuff, and then the person is like, LOL, JK, you're not getting paid. There's, like, a bit of a ruckus.
Well...
It's funny how quickly you can make money off your art the second that you get away from comics, too. I've done a couple magazine covers. I did an album cover, a T-shirt for a band, and stuff like that. And all of them, money right away, no problem. Excited about paying you. But as soon as you get into comics, it's just such a shady. People worried about $2 and stuff like that. And the main reason is it's because of the print companies. It's costing them a lot to make these books. So the second that there's lots of shortcuts, you can lower the quality of the book, but they don't want to do that, and that's why I really think that digital will help people getting paid.
Yeah, I really hope so.
I just personally finished a really big job and got a nice big check and bought some new shoes, and it was really dope. And now I got some dope Pumas. And I'm very happy about that. And it was not it was not a comic book job, but I still had a very good time, and I got to draw something. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of the reasons why I take so many different odd art jobs. You know, I mean, it still pays and it's fulfilling as heck. Especially when I was suspended a story and a half above the floor. I don't know why, but that was just as thrilling as it was putting the paint on that wall. Robert says he did a snowboard design that paid the rent for a month.
Yeah.
Any other jobs you've done, Robert? How about you, Kelly? Have you done any oddball jobs besides drawing or inking?
Not really. Like, I did a couple of covers for Boom as well. And like 2 years ago, I did some concept art for Cartoon Network for a little pilot they were doing. So that was really cool.
Since you brought up Ryan Estrada, I want to show you a book that he gave me. It's called Handbook to Pricing and Ethical Guidelines for Freelance Artists. And everyone that's doing any type of freelance illustration, anything like that, should pick this up. What it does is it helps you price your bid for a job. And so let's say you're drawing something for your aunt, but your aunt's wealthy. Add an extra $50 onto it, stuff like that. It's a very handy book, and I'm going to add that to my recommendations for the month. Thank you for bringing up Ryan Estrada and made me remember that. And reminded me I had that book.
Yeah, like
I do. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Like earlier, like I'm super not savvy with like quotes and clients and all this kind of stuff, and I've been approached by companies saying like, oh, can you design such and such? Like, how much are you gonna charge? And I'm like,
$20.
No. Well, I was like,
one burrito.
$200, and they were like, yeah, sure. Like, what's your PayPal or something like that? And they paid me right away. And I later found out like I should have charged like $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Look at
good.
that book.
Yeah.
It's super cheap. I think it's only like $15 on Amazon, and it's helped me out quite a few times.
Yeah, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. It's got also some generic copies of contracts too.
Yep.
In the back, so that way you can use them and adapt them to what you need as well. Kind of gives you a basic pay scale on what you can charge. Robert says he is going to go ahead and go. He's got cat sitting to do. So, bye, Robert.
Bye, Robert.
Hi, Robert. Thank you.
When this book helped me out when I first moved to LA. I did a kind of like a big it wasn't really a web design job. It was a HTML cleanup for a clothing company here in LA, and I was going to charge them $200 or whatever. And went through and talked to another web designer, and we ended up getting about $7,000 for it. So.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, a lot of people don't realize how much some jobs should actually cost. You just need to go ahead and get that figured out right away.
Absolutely.
And if you have something that somebody else wants, and they have the money that you need, there's a way to trade it. It's pretty awesome.
It's true.
For sure.
But I've had other times where when people have approached me to do something, I do a lot of tattoo designs, believe it or not. I get approached a lot of times for tattoo designs.
Flash. It's called Flash.
Yeah. Well, different ones, different people. Yeah, I don't always call it Flash because Flash is sometimes generic. I mean, it really depends upon the person. Anyways, when I've quoted prices, people usually balk and run away.
Yeah.
But I don't think we should work for free either.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think you can do something for free if it's getting you something besides money. Because I just started redrawing again, however months ago, the last September, I was doing lots of free stuff just to show people that I can do that. And I did a couple free just spot illustrations just to show them that I can turn it over real quick. I have a resume and I have a portfolio, but that doesn't show that I'm a good person to work with. So.
Yeah. If you can prove that you can put it out speedy too, that
they love that. I did a band was doing a concert and they needed an illustration for the concert in like 2 days. The concert, so they had to not only get the illustration printed on the shirt, so I pretty much just had to whip out a T-shirt for a band in a couple hours, and I quote unquote did that for free, but then made a couple $100 out of it after they sold all the shirts. So favors are worth money sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, you really have to judge it, but overall, some of the ones that they want you to do, some of it gets really intricate, and that's when I really start adding on the money.
Commissions are the worst. I have a little commission thing on my website, and $10 sketch mail it to you, no problem. And it's just one character, and you get these retarded requests for these gigantic detailed things, and the second that you say, oh, it's going to cost more, they're like, no, it's $10. It says so on your website.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you probably have like examples too of like this is what you're going to get for $10.
I'll draw you Spider-Man. Heck, I'll even put it on a building.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna draw Spider-Man fighting, Dr. Octopus in the jungle with tigers chasing him. 'Cause I can't draw tigers at all. I just can't.
No kitties for you.
Kelly, what don't you like to draw?
People. No, like man-made things.
You're good at drawing people. You got people down.
Yeah, I like drawing people. I like drawing like trees and foresty stuff, but I'm not good at drawing cars and buildings and stuff like that. Which is it's kind of a cop out because I should just learn how to draw it and just draw it, but I just don't want to.
I'm pretty sure you're just a younger female me, because the main reason I'm putting my comic right now in the forest is because that's the only thing I can really draw.
Mm.
I keep doing just nothing but giant color backgrounds or close-ups of a giant tree because I still can't get the room down right.
Manga Studio has some dope rulers.
I've got to get it figured out. I really do. Alright, well, let's go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Well, thank you, Kelly, so much for hanging out with us and bitching and bullshitting. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Okay, and everybody can find her work at kellybastow.com or moosekleenex.tumblr. Huh? Bastow? Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. Bastow.com or moosekleenex.tumblr.com. And two hosts today with me were Jamie Dee Galey at jamiedeegaley.com. And Robert Trittart of chanceofdoom.com and writhandshine.com. And I am your last but least host, Melony, at ornamentalcomic.com. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye!
Peace.